Today I thought I would take you on kind of a special ride. We're gonna sketch today on the trains. Hello you guys, what is up? It's your girl Becky, your local urban sketcher from Hong Kong, and today I thought I would take you on kind of a special ride. We're gonna sketch today on the train. So the MTR, Mass Transport Rapid? No, that's what Singapore one stands for. But basically the Mass Transportation Railway, I think that's what it stands for Hong Kong, is one of the most used public transport because it's so reliable. It comes every few minutes and there's just so many people that ride on it every day to go to work, to go back from work, and to go from place to place. It is what I would say my primary mode of transportation. And one of the things that I love doing is I love sketching people on the train, but I just never had a chance to fully record the process. So I thought I would do that for you today. Bring you along with me and let's see if we can sketch some people on board. Let me just quickly show you. So the train actually has these metrics to show which cards have space and doesn't have space, and then you also have the temperature there. You have the station names both in English and in Chinese characters. So the next one is going to come in 5 minutes, and as you can see, these are 7-minute intervals, and this is actually one of the less crowded train routes. The Hong Kong trains, because of its quick intervals, is just so insanely reliable, and I just have to say it's probably the most reliable city I've ever been to. I know there's probably a few other Asian cities that can rival it, cities in Japan and Korea, for example, and maybe even mainland China. But man, just Hong Kong is just, I really love living here, especially because of the convenience factor of the transportation. Thanks to my nifty camera capturing everything here that you see on the screen, I'm going to start by explaining where I always start. So I always start with the head, and the reason being that the head is always the focal point of any portraiture, really. I don't see, I guess if it's an artistic choice, the point of sketching, say, someone's shirt and not their head, and also not their legs or something like that. So I always just start with the head because I know if anything happens, at least I have that part. If suddenly the person gets up and leaves, at least I have the head, which is the most identifying part of the body. With mask, but it's still there. So this person is thankfully, or maybe luckily, sleeping, so he's not really moving around that much. So I'm able to actually just sketch everything around him. And oh, by the way, this whole time lapse is only sped up twice. So even though it seems like I'm moving quickly, it's not that quick. It's still sped up. But I'm also not thinking a lot about the sketch because with these kind of public transportations, people do get up and go, and then you suddenly have people blocking your view. So you just have to commit to it, whatever it is you're sketching. So in this sketch, you can see I always sketch one person first, and then I'll do any of the interior stuff like the poles of the train or the windows a little bit later. And once I'm done with the first person, then I can move on to the second person. And with the second person, I would also just normally start with the head, or if not, in this case, I'm starting with their shoulder first because I just wanted to get that height proportions accurate. The second person on the left is a little bit taller in terms of their sitting position to the person on the right, so I just wanted to get that relative distance correct. And since I know the first person's head fits, I can very confidently fit in the second head in. And I'm just drawing everything from the mask. The mask actually really simplifies a lot of things. I don't know how to draw noses and mouths. And eyes are just usually lines with a glasses rim around it. It's a very typical view. And eyebrows are also just 2 lines on top of the eye lines. And then I just draw a really rough silhouette of the hair. And suddenly now you have a face. It doesn't have to be an accurate portrait. but I just love like capturing these views on the train. And then for everything else, just go down to the collar, like the front part of the collar and also the back part of the collar, the sleeves, and then the arms. You can see I'm like not too great at drawing fingers, but I can only improve if I keep doing it right, which I probably should improve with like maybe more technical human anatomy drawing. But for now, I'll settle for these silhouettes and I will chalk it off as like artistic license. But anyhow, that's just about it. It's really quick, really speedy, really easy. And you can see me, even in real time, how I like sort of capture the video of this drawing, and also I try to pan to people across me on the train. People see me when I'm like capturing videos, like it's so obvious. They sometimes know that I'm sketching them. They do not care. I don't know if it's like a Hong Kong thing or whatnot, but people really do not mind that I record them. I think as long as I'm not bothering them and I'm not loud, people are okay with me sketching them. So yeah, Hong Kong's a great place to start sketching. Fun little fact about the MTR stations, they try to decorate the station names with like the according graphics in this like tile-like thing. So Diamond Hill has like diamonds. On the place there's another station called Choi Hong, which means rainbow, so it's all rainbow colored. And they just try to add little birds like this, which I think is like quite cute. So you can see there, let me just zoom in. There's like some diamonds there and also like basically throughout the station. And I just thought it's a cute little intricate detail. So at this point we finished sketching. It is time for me to switch trains because I need to get to my destination. And I've learned that after doing this for quite some time, I've learned really how to be quick with it and to just really prioritize the details and the lines that I want. And I'm gonna share some tips with you right in a bit, mainly because the escalator is about to arrive, and it's kind of not safe to get off the escalator while doing something and being involved like this. Safety first. Our train stations are also usually equipped with facilities such as the restroom and even charging station, which there's a wireless charging, or there's a limit to it, but I'm not sure if the 15 minutes, like how they're gonna enforce it exactly. I've never used one of these, but it seems to be pretty useful to have, regardless. Alright, let's see how many tips I can share before my train arrives. So first tip is to use a pen, and the reason for this is because of the convenience factor. Like I had all my like watercolor stuff in there, but I know that I just didn't have time to really pull everything out and use it. Mainly not only because it's like the trains are really fast. Usually you're not on the train for more than like 10 to 20 minutes at a time, so you just really want something that you can quickly whip out and then quickly pack. I'm not gonna make it to my next train. Let's wait for the next one, and then we'll talk more. Oh yeah, the other thing is the announcements are done in like 3 languages, so it takes like forever for the announcements to happen. Anyhow, yes, convenience factor, and also, you know, like sometimes people can also like stand on the train, so you want to sketch something before people like block your view, because that just happens, especially in like crowded and rush hours. So you just gotta be able to quickly move and quickly adapt. And one way of doing that is just sticking with just one pen. Another tip, because on sketching really quickly on the train, is you just don't have any time for proportions and drawing like roughly and stuff. I know people like Devon Rodriguez is like super talented. He can probably whip that up. I actually don't know how quickly he does that in like actual real time. But what I've done is I just try to put everything proportionally just relative to one another. So for example, like the sleeves of the people, I just try to put them at like the same length, left to right. And then for example, like how long the sleeve is, I just like try to roughly position it according to the head, for example. And I'm like, okay, I'll take that as a reference point. And then how much longer is the sleeve. So I just try to do little things like this to like quickly hack and quickly sketch in the thing. Like composition is completely out the window when doing the sketching, but I think it's just a good habit to just, you're forced in a situation, it's kind of like a pressure cooker situation where you're just like forced to quickly sketch and then you're not overthinking of what you're sketching because you are putting pen to paper, and it's not like pencil where you can erase it. It's like pen, so you just have to keep going. Lastly, my tip is just to like quickly pivot. I got lucky today, so nobody was blocking my view, but if someone blocks my view, I just have to sketch another person. Or if that person that I was sketching just got off the train, I just have to sketch another person and probably just like kind of combine the two proportions together. It's kind of tricky, but it's just something that you have to do in order to make use of the situation. Lastly, my tip is just to do it. I know that it might seem weird for you to pull your sketchbook out on like a public transportation, but honestly, after doing it for so many times, people just do not care. Even the people who are being sketched, they really don't care. Maybe one day I'll be one of those people who can like pull the sketchbook out and like give it to the person, but I feel like I just want to hone in a little bit more skill, so I haven't gotten to that stage yet. Lastly, I just wanted to add that because I've been sketching people with like masks so much, I know how to like shorthand people's like eyes and eyebrows. I have no clue how to sketch people's like noses and mouths, which I think personally is like harder than sketching the eyes and the glasses and all that. But I know that Hong Kong's gonna keep the mask on rule for a while, so that's not gonna be a problem that I have to deal with in the near future. Alright, that is going to be it from me today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick little sketch, and I'll catch you in the next one. Happy sketching! Bye!